Hello, hello. Welcome to Revenge of the 90s. We are here, Fabs and me, Steve, to talk to you about 1994's No Escape, starring Ray Liotta, RIP, Lance Henriksen, Ernie Hudson, and Kevin Dillon, and a bunch of good character actors, we'll say. So people that it's a lot of oh, that guy, cool. I've seen him in some stuff.
Right,
So
yes.
it's one of those types of movies. That's the gist. But No Escape is a movie about a futuristic dystopian world of 2022 where there are prison islands and super high-tech futuristic looking prisons that exist outside normal legal jurisdictions, I would say, and are privately owned. And the movie itself begins with a pretty hilarious opening card that
Yes.
says in the year 2022, the international prison system is operated by private corporations. Yep, it currently is, correct. Criminals from all over the world are exploited at a profit. Yes. Prisons have become big business. And it's meant to send a shiver down your spine and go, that could never happen. When
Right,
in
right.
fact, it's exactly what happens and continues to this day and only becomes bigger business. So much so that they're building warehouses out in the desert to imprison anyone who's not white, I would say. So
Yeah.
there's some real shady, horrible stuff going on, and No Escape had no idea how prescient it was going to be. Again, we were just recording an episode about the Page Master, and I described it as quaint, and I would say that No Escape is sort of quaint in that regard, in that it tries to make you imagine some horrific future that we just live in. It's just that's
Right,
like the
yes.
fact of life. So right off the bat, I'm like, oh hell yeah, let's go. I'm very excited to see what they think of the future. I
I
had never
love
seen
any
this.
any that's like years from now, you can't imagine the horrors of this, like how this society is and this system that has been built. Like Escape from New York has something like this. It's
Yes.
I'm all in. Like,
Oh, I love those. I love predicted dystopian futures. I love it
yeah.
when they don't go far enough out. Like this movie was made in 1994. You were only picking like 30 years later.
It's crazy.
It's like, come on, man. And this is like my biggest gripe with the movie is that I think it picks 2022 as a way to be like, well, we're like a movie in the future, but it's not that futuristic. Don't expect us to have laser guns and stuff.
Right.
Because my biggest gripe with this is backstory really quick. It's a movie in which Ray Liotta, which is a very cool little opener, is a soldier who kills a commanding officer, shoots him right in the head. And in the future, you go when you get life in prison, you get sent to this prison colony where you get no contact with the outside world for the rest of your life. You're cannot be rehabilitated, you're gone and you're shipped off. It turns out that beyond even that, there's this secret island where they send people who are even more unfit for this, whatever prison colony, and they get sent to this secret island to live out their days. And, I think my biggest gripe comes from the fact that for a movie about a futuristic prison world in a way where prisons have become big business, and so I'm led to believe they rule the world, it totally cops out and makes Mad Max light on an island and makes
Right.
everybody dress in stupid costumes, and it becomes it feels like an episode of Star Trek where they descend on a world where they're like, look at this primitive civilization, and it's just like some people in costumes who have log houses.
Yeah.
Like
It,
it felt like a total cop out.
Yeah, no, my wife walked in a couple of times while I was watching this and was just like, what what is this? And then she like, I think at first she thought it was a porn parody that I was just watching in the middle of the day. And then she saw Ray Liotta and she's
Not
like,
again.
yeah. She's like, wait, why is he in this? I'm like, I don't know. This is only like 3 years removed from Goodfellas, and a very
I
interesting
had read
choice.
that he wanted to do a movie where he was the hero, where he was like a legit, you know, hero protagonist, which, like, okay,
Okay.
I get that. Like,
Yeah.
I understand. And I love me some Martin Campbell. Like, he's the best Bond director, man. He really
Oh, yeah.
is kick ass. And I guess he made this movie strictly because he needed to buy a house. He needed to pay off a house.
I love
There's a lot to this movie where you're like, yeah, this wasn't going to work. There's no freaking way.
He was probably dating. There's a movie, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be the two most beautiful actors dancing, and then he's going to use a sword to cut off her top. I have no idea what this is. And then he was just thinking of, he was getting just a rival. He was getting future visions of working on The Mask of Zorro.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So he couldn't even begin to concentrate on this movie.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't care. Yeah, what do the costumes look stupid? Everyone says they look stupid. No, it's fine. It's fine. And then he's just like,
Yeah, it's like
Catherine Zeta like a bunch of times.
he's like eyes roll back in his head as he's like scribbling.
A woman with Billy Zane?
Yeah, he's probably getting these script rewrites, and he's like, what? The leader of this group is called the Father, and he's like some mystical shaman guy. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's roll with that. Whatever. Yeah, I hate when movies do that. I just don't like that it like become, that like I was like, oh, Lance Henriksen in it, sweet. And he's like this, religious cult figure guy. And they don't give Ernie Hudson anything cool to do at any point.
It was a total waste.
He's like a head of security, and you never see him do anything. And like Kevin Dillon is like so weird in it. Like not really like a fault of his own, but like just a weird character. And like they give him a dumbass haircut, and there's a few moments which is fine, but there's a few moments where you're like, oh, they're gay together. Like that you get the sense that there's this weird scene where like, he's like, you go. And then they have a really long like look at each other, and I'm like, oh, they're going to kiss. That's interesting. And it's just like, I had no clue what it wanted to be. And that's the biggest problem with it is like,
yes.
Take me back to the futuristic prison colony that we were on for a few minutes. That was cool. Like, that was what I signed up for with this movie, was like, I thought, and even when they're on the island, I was like, oh, maybe there will be futuristic sentry guards, or maybe there's like an underground bunker that they go to at the end where like something futuristic is there. But like,
they find out they're on Earth the whole time, or just anything. It's just,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
We go halfway through the movie without visiting the prison. And even when we do, it's just a quick update of perimeters clear. And when they go back and they're testing the ship to avoid the radar.
Oh, yeah. And the guy catches them on radar.
Yeah, we get 3 minutes of it, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll see you at last 20 minutes.
And right, yeah, like I was like, oh, thank God we got back to the prison. Like that must mean that maybe Liotta does escape and goes to the prison and kills the guy. What, like maybe that would happen. But the other thing too is they like have this contrived part of the plot where during that moment where they're like, is there any thermal activity? It's like, okay, what do you care? Like if there is, but they're like, we can't have any big explosions, like nothing that people would be able to investigate. Like if word got out about this island, we'd be screwed. And it's like,
right.
Why? Like what about this island would piss people off? You already have this prison society anyway. Like what would make, what exactly is going on in this island that would be so detrimental? Like, if anything, people would just be pissed that you even let them have a life on the island in the first place. Not that you're abusing them by just shuttling them off to an island. It just never made sense to me.
No.
like what the big deal was, where it was like what would have been cool, dude, would have been if it was a game preserve type of island where it was like, oh, we're going to send all these assholes, the biggest assholes of all in this lifer prison. We're going to send them to a death island where they have to survive traps and hunters and all this crazy stuff that we put them there for our own entertainment, like a Squid
Game
Game
show.
or
Yeah, that'd be great. Yes.
game show type thing, like something like that. Dude, that would have been cool. I do not want to learn about this little society of guys trying to redeem themselves with their weirdo little society thing with Lance Henriksen. I wasn't interesting to me. Like, it really
No.
wasn't.
It was like, this movie picks all these, it's like Apocalypse Now meets The Great Escape meets Lord of the Flies, Escape from New York. But it's like, what are the 10 like least interesting scenes from each of those movies? Now let's do those on a worse budget with less talented people. And that's what our film will be. And it just like, it doesn't, it sucks because we've seen so many things that are this genre adjacent. There's the Predator movie where the baddest people from Earth get sent to Predator Island and they're hunting them.
I love that one, by the way.
Yeah, there's that movie with Stone Cold where they go on the island and prisoners are fighting and they all have life sentences, but then if you survive, you get your sentence reduced.
Wait,
There's
what movie is that? Is Stone Cold's in it?
I think Stone Cold's in it, yeah.
Damn.
But it's like all these things we've seen that are awesome. It's called The Condemned.
Cool.
A death row inmate forced to fight 9 other international convicts to the death on a remote island. Orchestrated by a TV producer. Yeah, so
Love
like we have, we're acquainted with all these cool versions of this, and it's like has none of the cool things from any of those.
No. Well, because it's all about they're building this new society to get redemption, and they're more than what their crimes were, and it's like yeah. Like, can I just have a movie where they just beat the fuck out of each other and kill each other in cool ways? Like the ending thing where Ray Liotta fires a rocket grenade into the group. I was like, now we're talking. And he has a very cool fight atop the tower with the main villain. Like when he gets thrown off and he gets spiked at the end. I will say this does a really good job of redeeming itself a bit in terms of the violence. Because there's dudes lit on fire. There's guys who get arrows through the head.
Oh, yeah, the Christmas battle is pretty good. Yeah, there's 20 minutes of really good stuff, action stuff that you get, but it's all in the last third of the movie.
Yeah. And by that time, I'm already like pretty much checked out, and it's like, I just like, sometimes I'm not in the mood for like a Mad Max ripoff type movie where it's like, look at this engineer guy. He made silly glasses. And it's like, whatever. I don't know, man. I was so fucking over it. I mean, it just like doesn't, sometimes that style just doesn't work. That aesthetic to me just doesn't work.
It's a style that's so hard to get right though. Like you have to have and they had a really competent director, but like you need a couple of more than one or two really good actors, I think, in it. You need an actual budget, and then you need at least a half dozen big set pieces. This movie has like 2 big set pieces. Like you needed a big war scene early on. You needed they need to be on horses that were native to the island. They couldn't remove them. They didn't realize they were on there. So like they have horses that they go into battle with. They needed machines that they could traverse everything with. I don't know, man. It was just
Or
like,
even like a final battle with even the prison guards that were like the battle team that was on its way at the end of the movie.
yes, they could have
Like
done a
you don't
whole
even
like
see
Trojan
them.
horse thing where they get up to the station disguised as something else and then they take over the station. That would have been sweet.
Dude, yeah, you don't yeah, very unfulfilling and unsatisfying ending to that where it chooses to end on a very hopeful note where it's like Ray Liotta, the father asks Ray Liotta to take over the new society, and he said, he basically is like doesn't commit to it, and then at the end tells Ernie Hudson like he wanted you to do it, and it was like, you know, like okay, great, and
So
he's like I'm
like,
gonna blow the lid off this place, I'm gonna blow the lid off this place and come back, and it's like whatever, dude, like. First of all, how could you really? Because you are still a convicted felon. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like you're still a lifer. Like you basically are escaped from prison, and you'll tell all these people about this prison island, but like who? I don't know who's gonna listen to you, man. So like
yeah, are they gonna
they'll
care?
probably
Like,
just shoot you on sight.
also the fundamental problem with this whole father society thing is it relies on more inmates. It's not like it's a male only population. It's not like you have that beautiful element of passing the wisdom on to the next generation of the children being born there. And you're creating this society that was started out of, sin in the sense of they're all there for crimes they've committed, but they're trying to make something beautiful. Like it's just a bunch of dudes that are all just going to eventually die. There is no like, passing
Right.
it on like that. You lose that whole theme of like that being a cool element because you're just like, so these guys are all banging each other like for sure,
Oh,
right? Like
that was my immediate thought
yeah,
was like this is a sex cult,
yeah,
like
yes,
100%. That they were having ritualistic jack off circles.
yes,
I mean, because what the hell else are you gonna do? Like, what really? I mean, I was like, eventually, I was like, oh, okay, there is a plan for them to try and escape. Like, there we go. Like, I was like,
yeah,
they are trying because, like, otherwise, yeah, it's just maybe they just really got okay with just having sex with each other, which, like,
yeah,
that would be cool. Like, because that would be the appeal, right? Would be you'd almost rather get sent to the island because on the prison again, this is why this movie fundamentally doesn't work is the the prison island is a better situation even with the crazy guy
yeah.
attacking you all the time. It's a fundamentally better situation because at I've already seen the prison colony, and in it everybody gets tortured all the time by the warden, like really gruesomely, and you're left alone on the island. There's
The
nothing there to
island's
even hurt you.
beautiful.
It's a
Like
beautiful island. You've got a little society going. You're all blowing each other.
I wish they would
Life's
have
not that
arrived.
bad.
They would have just been on their knees like human centipede, just eating each other's butts, but in a giant circle. So everyone's being like gratified.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And or maybe we just like see that in the background as like him and the father are walking through as the father
Yes.
explains the society that they've built. Like
We only 69 in this society, my son. I
yeah.
say, okay.
Everybody receiveth, everybody giveth.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that is the ethos of the society of the outsiders. Yeah, I don't know. There are so many issues that I have with the movie. Aside from actually pretty decent action, it's just few and far between,
Yeah.
and getting there is sort of a haul. And I just really hate the cop out. Like clearly they knew they didn't have the budget.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To make a like big budget futuristic prison escape type movie. And I think they might have realized that pretty early on and been, well, just put him on the island, I guess, and it'll be just humans fighting each other in crazy get-ups. But you'll
Yeah.
forget that this is even taking place in the future. as far as you know, the world ended or something. It just, yeah, I mean, that's the bummer, is that
And
there
I think
could have been a lot of things you could have done.
I think it's trying. I don't think it's trying too hard to be prestige, but I feel like it's trying a little bit to be. We can do a Gone with the Wind meets Apocalypse Now. Like it's like there are some elements where I think they're trying to be successful from some movies that were successful in the early '90s, and it is just like the talent's not there, the budget's not there, and the script's not there. I mean, I listen, I'm a nobody. I've never made, had a movie made. I would be super excited if this was the one movie I ever got made. I'd be Ray Liotta starred in it. Awesome. But if we're comparing it to other movies in the genre, it is just like not it's not there on so many levels. And it's so disappointing too because it has a bunch of great character actors. It has some the good leads, a good villain, and like I don't know how you mess up movies like this. This is a genre that dudes really like.
Dude, yeah, it should have been 10 times grittier. You already had the R. So like you should have just gone even further with it and made it that much grittier and violent. And like really it's not even really a commentary on anything. Like it's not
Oh,
like, it doesn't have much to say about the state of the prison industrial complex or where the US was heading in the 90s, and this is what the future could look like. Or, there really wasn't a ton to any of that because you spend so much time on this island where, I guess they're trying to say, well, everybody deserves, if not a second chance, at least like, you know, rehabilitation or something.
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, the premise is sweet. Just give me a cool ass movie where like if it is going to take place on a prison island, give me some futuristic prison shit going on where he's got to fight like futuristic guards, and maybe there's this crazy death maze that they have to do. Like I don't know, man. Just sit in a room for a couple hours and ping pong off ideas on a board to each other on a whiteboard. Write down as many cool futuristic things as you can and be like, what can we do on this island with that? Like,
Right.
like, you know, okay, yeah, they get on the boat and they have to like fight off these boat patrols or something. And you could do a cool scene out on the water and, all sorts of stuff that if you weren't bogged down by kind of the other bullshit of the movie, I feel like it would be like a real good cult. Or it could have been like a big hit. Would have been like, cool, this movie's super violent and super fun. But yeah, kind of a bummer.
So we've talked about this before because we don't really have anything left to talk about in terms of what happens in this movie. I think the interesting thing is, I forget what we talked about it with, but it was a movie where it was based off the special effects, where it feels like it was a movie that was later '90s, came out a year or two before The Matrix, and we're just like, how is this even in the same stratosphere that The Matrix came? Obviously, The Matrix, that sets the standard, but other movies that would come out this year. I mean, it's 1994, so you're going to have like Shawshank, Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, just like that just seem so much more. Obviously, they're all nominated for Best Picture, but more well made than this movie. Like it's just Schindler's List was the year before, but it was on the box office still. It was still doing well because it came out in December. But it just like this movie seems like it was made like late '80s when you compare it to some of the other stuff that came out that year that was really successful. Like, it just like feels basic, I guess, is like the the word I would use, where it's just like it's 1994. Like, the effects should be better. The set design should be better. The like everything should be better.
Yeah, I mean, True Lies also was this year.
Yes. Yes.
So True Lies was this year. Even a couple years before this was like Terminator 2. Point Break was around this time. There were some even
Die
in the
Hard with
early
Vengeance.
dude. Yes, in Die Hard 2, there were lots of dynamic action movies pushing forward the genre. And yeah, basic is a really good way to put it. It's like plays it really safe.
Yeah.
I would argue that again, I brought up Star Trek, but like it literally feels like a like a feature length sort of Star Trek type episode where
I think that's a great comparison. Yes, it does.
like you could literally plop the Enterprise crew into this movie and be like, it would be the same, where
Yeah.
they would have landed on some planet that is a prison planet, and they send people to this prison island, and like it's these primitive people building a society, these prisoners building a society. That's how I view it, is like it's a next generation episode, just rated R. So as a next generation episode, it would be pretty cool. It would be like, that was a good episode. Like, all right, cool. Yeah. As like, attempt at a star making type role for Ray Liotta, like an unfortunate misfire would be the way to describe it. But
yes,
yeah, it is a bummer. But I did not know, dude, that there were video games made from this movie.
It's the golden
And no
era
clue.
of just, if there was a movie you like, there was a higher than 0% chance that a Nintendo or Sega video game was made of it. It didn't do well, unsurprisingly.
And yeah, sure of it. I would totally want to buy the Genesis.
Yeah.
Like the Sega Genesis box. I don't even need the game. Just give me the box.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'd never even heard of this one.
But yeah, there are so many weird early 90s video games created from movies where you're just like, why was a video game made of this movie? This is driving Miss Daisy. Like, is this a driving video game? Like, what's happening?
It's like Road Rash.
Yeah.
With Driving Miss Daisy. I feel that way, I do lament. I'll have to check this out. Well, a lot of the time too, these video games were like, I think, built off the same engine, where they'd be like, oh, just swap out a character and it'll be the same friggin' game. Those side scroller type games. But the thing that I do lament quite a bit is that, the video game one I can live with, but what I really hate is that, dude, if you think about it now, there are so few movies putting out action figures. It's so sad. It is utterly, utterly sad to think about how many movies have come and gone where we never got action figures. Or if it's an action figure, it's going to be the friggin' $60 NECA that you can buy. It's like, no, dude, I want the $10 cheap ass action figure that like my son can break.
Yeah,
like,
the little one with the hingy arms and the hand.
Yeah.
And yeah, where it's just like, there's going to be a misprint. And if you had just not opened the box, 40 years from now, it's worth like $100,000. Like, yeah, give me that.
I just want like a silly little action figure of like, why couldn't I get like a silly little action figure of Leonardo DiCaprio in one battle after another?
That's so fun. I was about to say him with the bathrobe and the sunglasses on. Yes.
Yes. How do I not have that?
I want a Colonel Lockjaw one. Like,
dude,
yes.
That's what I'm saying. But it would be like, in true like action figure fashion, it would be Colonel Lockjaw with like a giant rocket launcher that fires breeze missiles, like shit that never was in the movie, but they had to just give him something cool.
Like, yeah, give me a Sinners one of Smokes. Like, I want to be able to get the barn. It opens up, dude, and like, that'd be so cool.
Like a Smoke and Stack, like dual action figure set. Get the fuck out of here.
You can get a 1930s car with it. Like, dude.
Yeah, and like they'll probably make it and it'll be $350.
Well, yeah, it would be like, yeah, there'll be 100 of them. They'll sell out immediately. Bots will own them, and you can buy it on eBay for like $900.
Yeah, Sinners. I'm actually, Sinners would have been the one last year to do it.
Yeah.
Like a big release that was super wide in interest and audience and big star attached. Like that would have been the movie where you might have gotten actually. And I don't know anymore. I don't know what I mean. I don't know if studios aren't seeking that out or if the toy brands aren't seeking it out. But I feel like that's a total missed opportunity to get into to expand the market. Like there's some toy company out there that would freaking clean up making like Kenner did with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be some toy company that's like, oh hell yeah, dude, I'll get the rights to Sinners.
Awesome,
I don't know.
Well, Coogler has
like-
the rights, so he could actually do something.
That is true. Like if you wanted to like make, if only I could get in his ear, make a few calls. But that is true. Yeah, he does have the rights. So like maybe if Kenner came over and wanted to do something, maybe. But yeah, I do love that era. I mean, they're like I have like Congo action figures, dude.
Amy Good Girl.
And they like, yeah, Amy Good Gorilla, good girl. But and that's one where the action figures don't look anything like the people, and they all have like even crazier weapons than the
Tim
friggin'
Curry
laser
action
gun
figure.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I want. Like I more or less just want crazy character actors as action figures.
A Steve Buscemi would be awesome.
I was actually it's funny you said that because my thought was going right to what's his name, William H. Macy.
Oh yeah,
I was like, give me a Jerry Lundegaard action figure, please. Or even dude, I would take Frances McDormand. Like
it'd be amazing.
And like her just pointing the gun. Like that would be a sweet action figure.
Pregnant Frances McDormand would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Well, Linton, a frequent guest on the show, he has his collection of the League of Extraordinarily Old Gentlemen, where he buys the old figures of characters. So the old Han Solo, the old Indiana Jones, and other like old action figures that get released. I always like that as a collection. But
awesome.
Okay, yeah, it's super good. Okay, what job would you want in that sex village?
Oh, cook. I would. That's my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
yeah. I could.
Do we have to figure they're probably eating the dead people though?
Probably, yeah.
Did they have animals? I
don't remember if they're animals.
Did they ever explain that? Because they have food at one point and it's just this like slop.
Yeah, I think they use grains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what job would I want? I don't hate the job. I don't hate the job of the guy who makes the alcohol.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
They leave him alone and he just gets to be shit-faced all the time.
Yeah.
Which would be like, I mean, that's the only way you probably make it through that. And also, dude, if they're only eating, well, they do supply drops. So I'm sure they drop off like.
That's right. It's like rice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're not having to hunt anything. Okay. That's
you
easy
give them
then.
Supply drops. So
yes, my ingredients. I don't have to forage for them.
Yeah.
So,
cook would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be cook. Everyone would like you. You get to, maybe have a little extra tastings of things. Stay nourished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That'd be all right. Yeah. I could get down with that. Okay. Yeah. And then here you put the box office for April. What spoke to you about this?
Just interesting. Just the again, things you'll never see unless it's, a movie like Sinners that it's just a phenomenon. But you get, I mentioned Schindler's List. It says April of 1994. Schindler's List came out in December. So it was still top 6 in the box office since its December 15th release. What's another one? A bunch of March releases. Mighty Ducks 2 had come out, a month or two earlier. A month earlier. Four Weddings and a Funeral a month earlier. Still in theaters, 45 days later. You just like don't. That's the range now, unless it's taking off, and you just giving them all of these movies this month had at least 16 million. I mean, it was a top 15 or something, and No Escape was not even close, unsurprisingly. But yeah, just
It's crazy to look at these
yeah,
numbers. I mean, it is really wild to look at these numbers. Like I was just looking at Four Weddings and a Funeral as the example. That movie made $245 million
that's crazy.
and was originally released March 11th, 1994. And I know you can look up the box office by a certain date.
Right.
Here, let's just do that for fun. Just because they do it for the year. I don't know. I can't find it. I'll look it up later. But okay, so what you pulled though for April, it's Four Weddings and a Funeral still made $19 million like a month later.
Right.
I mean, that's incredible. And I know that the way people watch stuff now and everything is different. Like
It is, but it's still cool to go back and just
yeah. Well,
look
and
at a time.
but I mean, there's so many examples though of movies today where there's no reason why you wouldn't or couldn't extend the theatrical window and then not just put it on digital the next day. Like I don't understand why they do that. I just do not.
It's crazy. It's crazy to undercut everything.
The amount of money that's been left on the table is just shocking in the industry. And I mean, it'll all come back around. It'll all come back around eventually. But when they'll realize that, oh, this was the only way we were making money, and maybe things will change a bit. But also the other thing that always takes me aback with this stuff is like the sheer volume of releases that you could, you're looking at, any snapshot of a period in the 90s, there were 7 to 10 movies at a time that you could go see
every weekend.
And they were all like, and they were all something worth watching.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like one a week, maybe.
Yeah. You'll get 2 or 3 a week, but only one will be a bigger thing. And in a given month, you only have 2 or 3 movies that are really getting any kind of marketing. And they're just waiting for a tent pole to show up and, around a holiday weekend. And yeah, it sucks.
No Escape is not that great, but goddamn, man, at least in the 90s, you got to see that and like 12 other good movies in theaters. You could go do a quadruple feature. I mean, you go to a movie every friggin' day and been like, oh, well, No Escape stunk, but whatever. I was at the movies. It's fun.
Exactly.
Ugh. Anyway. All right, man. Well, I think that's it for No Escape. I say you could watch it. It's not terrible. It's good.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. It's
some cool deaths. Martin Campbell, if you're like, oh, what was he up to right before GoldenEye? It was this. So you can see what that's all about. But other than that, I think, the drill. Rate, review, subscribe, check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and we will catch you later.